What's going on? Today we're going to be looking at the Titan class. The Peacekeepers exotic leg piece got a huge buff and is better than ever. Honestly, it's probably going to be hitting the meta for PvE Titans across the board. The changes that happen to the Peacekeepers here is that you're actually going to be getting like a mini target lock that stacks up to 20 the longer you're on the target. Each stack will give you a 5% damage increase. So when you're wielding a submachine gun, handling, airborne effectiveness, and movement are all improved. And then with that target lock, you're going to be getting more damage the longer you're on the target. And then the submachine guns are going to reload when they're stowed. So there's a couple different options that you can go here. You can either do a double SMG loadout build, so you can just flop back and forth between the SMGs and just try to do damage that way. The way I personally like to use this is I have my SMG up in the top here, or on the bottom, and then I'll have a shotgun, being that we need the shotguns for the barrier champs in this season. So my personal favorite is the Huckleberry SMG, because this one as well got a huge update going into episode 2 Revenant. So on the Ride the Bull, increase rate of fire, recoil while holding down the trigger, and then final blows will reload the magazine. I believe that before the update, it was only partially reloaded the magazine, but now it completely refills it back up to that 30. So that is insane, allows you to do a lot more damage. As well as we have the Rampage that stacks up to 3, does 66% extra damage, I believe, off of the 3 stacks. And then with the intrinsic trait, or with the catalyst now, it is gaining kinetic tremors, so damage on higher targets. Bosses, champions, you're going to do a lot more damage in a lot higher bursts. So when you pair that up with the Peacekeepers, you're going to be getting the 3 stack as well as the kinetic tremors, and then the Peacekeepers are going to stack on top of there and giving you that extra. You're going to be doing right around 300% extra damage, if I remember correctly, from all of the extra damages going into it. And then we use the Fell Winner's Lie with Slide Shot and Vorpal Weapon. Make sure we have it for the barrier champs whenever we need to do that. And then I use the Bittersweet Grenade Launcher, probably the best grenade launcher in this season, with Envious Arsenal and Jolting Feedback. So Envious Arsenal, when you deal damage with both of the weapons, you will get this weapon completely refilled from the reserves. And then Jolting Feedback here is going to, dealing repeated damage, will then inflict jolt on the target. So on the armor mods here, we are going to be using kinetic targeting, powerful friends, and kinetic siphon to benefit the Huckleberry as much as possible. Then we have heavy-handed and double focusing strike to get our barrier back as frequently as we possibly can. And then we run down into arc reserves for our bittersweet, whatever is this you're going to be using, or for whatever content you're in. And then on the legs, we have a double kinetic surge, gives us another 22% boost to the Huckleberry along with recuperation. And then on the class item, Reaper, Outreach, and Time Dilation. And when we go into our artifact, we are going to be obviously on the Overload SMGs, the Barrier Shotgun, and then the Overload Grenade Launchers, Rapid Impacts, Fell the Revenant, Killing Breeze, Wind Chill, Armor of Aramis, Hail the Storm. Insanely good perk this season, by the way, along with Power from Pain to grant us Devour from the weakened combatants. And then we have Kinetic Impacts to give our powered grenade launchers kinetic tremors as well. Now, when we look at the Prismatic Titan class, there's a couple options. You can use the Twilight Arsenal, Glacial Quake, or Thunder Crash Super. I do use the Twilight Arsenal just because it is going to be creating a lot more weakening for around the battlefield, and you can go pick up those axes and do quite a lot of damage. And now we are using the staples with Frenzy Blade, and I'm going to use the Suppressor Grenade to try to weaken targets by using Dominance and help out when I don't have my super available. And then obviously the Consecration Knockout, insane survivability as well as great damage output. And then to round out the fragments, we are going to be using Protection, Purpose, Solitude, and as well Dawn. Let's see what we do to Carl here. That thing just melt those. Get this thing full charge. I'm gonna go in on Carl right here. On top of that, cause oh my gosh. Reload my fell winner. Boom. Stay alive. You must die.